After Johnny, there was Bianca, but not for long. So why did Amber Heard's next serious relationship fizzle out so quickly? Before she started dating Bianca Butti, Heard was open about dating people of different genders. In 2010, Heard was in the middle of a high-profile 4-year relationship with artist Tessia Von Ray at the GLAAD 25th anniversary event, Heard explained. "I don't label myself one way or another. I have had successful relationships with men, and now a woman. I love who I love. It's the person that matters." Speaking at a South by Southwest panel entitled "Making Change on and Off the Screen," Heard recalled her experience coming out to her religious Texan family. She explained, "I'm from Austin, Texas, and I was raised in a religious home. I remember when I told them about my relationship, that I was in love with this woman. I remember at the beginning of that, it was just tears."
No one in my family really ever left Texas.
However, she shared a hopeful message with the audience, saying, "Attitudes and hearts can change." It was never in Heard's nature to stay quiet or keep her sexuality hidden. Regardless of how people reacted in her family or the industry, she wasn't going to hide. During an interview with The Economist, Heard recalled when Ellen DeGeneres asked about her sexuality. She shared, "I just answered honestly. My poor publicist. Then I realized the gravity of what I had done and why so many people, studio execs, agents, advisors, did not want this coming before my name." Rumors of Heard and Bianca Butti's relationship first began to circulate in January 2020, after the two were seen together on a Palm Springs getaway.
But for me, I think with my life, I think it's the most precious thing I can have is privacy.
People magazine shared a picture of the pair cozying up, presumably after a date, while waiting at the valet stand. They were spotted kissing before getting into a red Mustang to leave together. This apparent date came 3 years after Heard's divorce from Pirates of the Caribbean star Johnny Depp was finalized in January 2017. From that point forward, Heard and Butti were spotted together on several occasions and appeared to be in a happy relationship. The pair had plenty in common due to their shared career in the film industry. While Heard may be a better-known name due to her role in the blockbuster Aquaman and the widely publicized controversy surrounding her relationship with Depp, Butti also has a successful career as a director of photography and camera operator. Some of her best-known works are films like The Measure of Revenge and Bones and All.
A director of photography is in charge of the overall look of whatever project you're doing.
While the pair seemed super happy at the start of their relationship, it started during a challenging time in Butti's life. The cinematographer had started her second battle with cancer a year prior. Butti was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015 when she was just 34 years old. She recovered, but sadly, her doctors confirmed that the breast cancer had returned in 2019. According to the Daily Mail, Butti underwent chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation during her first cancer treatment. After a lot of research, she also decided to bring in alternative treatments for her second diagnosis. Butti was open about her diagnosis and documented parts of her journey fighting cancer for the second time on the Instagram page Butti Beats It. In a September 2019 Instagram post on the account, Butti shared a picture of herself with the caption, "In order to reach a place of real healing and repair of the body, one must be completely relaxed. It's amazing how difficult that can be, working on that in a serious way. Meditation helps, exercise helps, beautiful landscapes help. Feeling supported by loved ones helps. Coming at it from all angles." Heard was still in the midst of a legal battle with her ex Johnny Depp when on April 8, 2021, she welcomed her daughter Una Page Heard into the world. According to The Mirror, she had her baby with the help of a surrogate. Heard posted an Instagram photo of the two of them a few months later to share the news. In the caption, Heard said, "4 years ago, I decided I wanted to have a child. I wanted to do it on my own terms. I now appreciate how radical it is for us as women to think about one of the most fundamental parts of our destinies in this way. I hope we arrive at a point in which it's normalized to not want a ring in order to have a crib. A part of me wants to uphold that my private life is none of anyone's business. I also get that the nature of my job compels me to take control of this. She is the beginning of the rest of my life." Heard already planned to have her daughter years before she and Butti ever started dating. Though they were together when Heard became a mother, Butti is not a parent to Una. There's also been no information released on who the biological father is. Heard has made it clear that she is parenting her daughter alone. In another post, she referred to herself as the mom and the dad, solidifying that having a baby was something she went into as an individual and not with Butti or anyone as a co-parent. Despite how connected the two appeared, Butti and Heard's relationship ended after 2 years together. Compared to the very public legal proceedings and shocking revelations about her relationship with Johnny Depp, Heard's partnership with Butti ended with very little drama or publication. Butti had stuck by Heard through her original court hearings with Depp in 2020, and even with all the backlash Heard received as more information about her and Depp's relationship came to light, it seems her breakup with Butti was completely unrelated. According to The Mirror, Butti and Heard's relationship simply fizzled out. Heard was filming the sequel to her blockbuster Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. She was shooting the film in the UK, and living on separate continents understandably strained the relationship. On top of the distance, Heard was busy balancing filming and caring for her young daughter, Una. As a source told the publication, with not being in the same country for months at a time and dealing with a new baby, it leaves very little time for romance. Little information was shared about their split, and by all appearances, the two are still on fairly good terms. Heard and Butti's relationship seems to have ended amicably, but it came when Heard was being pushed to her limit. Sources spoke to the National Enquirer regarding the controversial actress's state after ending the relationship. At the time, Heard was reportedly consumed by the stress of her upcoming defamation suit with Depp. On top of those worries, working and living out of a suitcase while filming Aquaman 2 wore the actress thin, and she was reportedly running on empty. Her lack of time, exhaustion, and stress led to Heard ending her romance with Butti. The same sources said Heard still loves Butti, but added, this is not the time for her to be in a committed relationship. Although ending the relationship was likely difficult, Heard seemed more concerned about her upcoming court battle with Depp. Her distress over the breakup was said to be nothing compared to the stress over the legal proceedings. In those months leading up to their court dates, sources said Heard hit rock bottom under the pressure of it all. During Depp's 2020 lawsuit against The Sun, Butti was frequently seen attending the trial with Heard. It seemed the cinematographer was a big part of Heard's support system at the time, and they were often photographed together leaving court. A source told Us Weekly that Heard was happier than ever with her new relationship. They continued by saying, Bianca has been very supportive of her, and Amber feels like she can trust her and be comfortable around her, especially since they were friends first. After her public support in 2020, many expected to see Butti again during Depp's defamation trial against Heard. Although the UK court had already ruled against Depp, that had been in his lawsuit against The Sun. He was still able to bring a defamation case directly against Heard, suing her for damages caused by her 2018 op-ed on surviving abuse.
It was ugly and could be very beautiful. It was very, very toxic.
The trial, which she ultimately lost, was difficult for Heard, and this time she didn't have Butti by her side. According to NBC News, the pair had already separated at the time, and Butti wasn't seen attending any of the trial days. Just because the pair is no longer together doesn't mean Butti has stopped supporting Heard. While she didn't physically come to court during Depp and Heard's 2022 trial, she took to her Instagram to clarify her stance on the proceedings. On June 1st, the cinematographer put up an Instagram post of a black square with white writing, simply stating, "I stand with Amber Heard." In the caption, Butti stood up for her ex, saying, "My support goes out to Heard and all survivors of sexual, physical, psychological abuse. What is happening in the media, social, and other, is just awful and inappropriate." Heard and Depp's trial was heavily publicized and commented on in the press and social media. Many see Depp's victory as just, while others see it as backlash against women speaking up about abuse.
A lot of mistakes, but I've always told the truth.
Butti made it clear that she agreed with the latter opinion and continued calling Heard a friend. She finished her post by stating, "No one who stands up to speak the truth should be treated like this. My heart goes out to her during these difficult times. No matter what happens, I stand with Amber Heard."